guys, and welcome to a new video. So today, to start off the video, this is Toothless, everyone, you know. I mean, in 3 days, How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World is coming out, so I thought, why not? But I got him about 2 to 3 days ago, so he's not very old. He's about 11 weeks. He's so cute. Anyway, he's probably going to appear somewhere in this video to annoy me or to distract me. So I just thought I should let you know that this is Toothless. A lot of people on Wattpad already know that I have him, and I was considering names, which were like Captain, Toothless, and I think Bobo was the other one, but I'm not sure. Oh, and Levi. I was going to call him Levi, but I saw him, and I was like, he is Toothless. And he is biting me right now. I don't know if you guys can see that, but he is biting me. So, today's video, I'm going to talk about... Ow! Hello. 8 tips of how to write a good fanfiction and be popular on Wattpad. So, this is just Wattpad, I think. Any forms of, like, where you can upload fanfiction, I'm pretty sure it'll work the same way. But, as I write on Wattpad, I'm just literally just talking about things on Wattpad here. So, I've literally wrote it all down here. So, I'm literally going to be reading off of it and trying to ignore Toothless, who is right here. So, these are my opinions. They may not be correct. They are literally just from my heart and basically really to my fans, but anyone can watch them and take something from this video, I guess. Let's get started. So, the first thing is make sure you have a good cover. If you have a good cover on Wattpad, you should get noticed, and if it's a good cover that is related to your story, and good places to get these images is usually on Pinterest and Google. Google just has everything. There's sometimes Tumblr has good pictures, and usually just any place where you can literally get images, there's going to be images there. Don't just give up looking for images, as soon as you start looking for them. I spend a good hour and a half finding some of my images. If you're going to type in something like, say for example, it's like Bungo Stray Dogs, you're doing a Chuya and Dazai fanfiction. If you type in Chuya and Dazai, there's only a certain amount of images that are going to come up. So if you type in Shoku, other things could come up. If you type in Bungo Stray Dogs double black, other images will also come up. But you've got to find the perfect one which fits your fanfiction. You can't just give up and pick the first thing you see, because that is going to falsely advertise your story. This also includes, so the stages you go through on Wattpad is you pick your image, and then you write a description, and then it takes you straight to your chapter 1. And then once you've published chapter 1, which usually is just, for me, I usually put something out add this to your reading list and, repeat the description of it. So the description is a short snippet version of what you're going to write about. You should put something there which is going to advertise it again. If it's cute fluff, that kind of thing, or you should put if it's yori or yaoi, or if it's straight. Yeah, you need to advertise it, okay? So if you're going to put, yeah, fanfiction, boy and boy, enjoy, nobody's going to read it, okay? You need to put words in there. You need to describe it. You need to, really advertise it. Pour your heart into that first thing. Even if it's just the beginning of the first chapter, people will still feel interested if it's interesting enough, okay? So, just advertise it. So one day my life changed forever. That can grab someone's attention. You have to pour your heart into making the covers, or get somebody to make your covers for you, and then just start it. Pick a good name, a good attractive name which is going to advertise the fact of your story. The second thing I'd do is I'd plan out each chapter. So for one, Almond the Coconut does this, which is my sister. You may have heard of her. I will not say my name though, but I can say my sister's name because she doesn't write filthy stuff. So basically, if you write out each chapter, this makes it easier to do. So I do it sometimes if I'm on a low, then yeah, I'm going to write down, I don't know, for example, if I'm on chapter 15 of a fanfiction, so I'm going to write down chapter 15, 16, and 17 in one go, in one, like, clump of things. You can do this on, like, either like a Word document, or you could actually probably put them on Wattpad, write down short little, reminders. And you could also put it on, like, notes on your phone or something. Say if you're, I don't know, you're walking to school or college or even university, you could even put that down and, there's an idea. And it'll refresh your memory when you look at it again. So an example of what I mean by this is, so I'd usually write about 100 to 200 words of description for at least 3 chapters. So an example of this is an Eren and Levi one, and it's no spoilers included. Eren and Levi bump into each other. Eren asks Levi out on a date. So it's a bit like bullet points. The date goes smoothly. Then they agree to see each other again. Hunji actually ruins the second date because she goes over to Levi's apartment house and stops Eren and Levi from kissing. Dun dun dun. It's a bit exciting, but it's really boring. I have read fanfictions which actually do this in the first line, and I'm not being funny, you can exaggerate on it so much more. Like, so much. You could write at least about 3,000 words with just that line. Honestly, I could do it. So why can't you guys? Come on. Come on, use your brains. But guys, you shouldn't panic about all this stuff as well. So, I'm just talking from my experience and what I do, but you don't need to take these on board. If some of them don't work for you, don't do it. But I'm just advising on what I think is good, okay? So, thumbs up. Let's go to the third thing. So, a lot of people who I've talked to, it wasn't recently, it was quite a while back, I think about 3 years ago, they messaged me and they was like, can you give me some advice? I mean, I get these messages all the time. This is why I'm doing a video about it, because it's easier to do this and then send it to everyone who wants to know, instead of me writing it over and over and over again and just feel like I'm repeating. I found out a lot of, like, when talking to people like this, I actually have found out that not a lot of them actually read books. Like, I don't exactly mean fanfiction. I mean, everyone who writes fanfiction has probably read fanfiction in some part of their life, so that's why they have gone on to write fanfiction. But a lot of people don't read actual books. Like, they will read manga, but not actual books. Like, I mean, like, for example, Harry Potter, like a novel, like an actual written book that has words in it, guys. And I feel like if you want to write properly, you have to read proper writing, okay, to achieve that, to get the feel of an author. I've read, like, How to Train Your Dragon. I tried reading Harry Potter. I mean, I'm not a massive Harry Potter fan, so I didn't get very far reading Harry Potter. But I've read all the How to Train Your Dragon books. I've read, not a lot, to be fair. I have read, but I haven't read a lot. But I do like fanfiction. I do like searching through loads of fanfiction and reading them, and also writing them. And I feel like both of those options are good. Like, if you pick up just one book, it can change the way you write. Next time you're in if you're in school, I mean, you have to get books and stuff, just read it. It may help with your fanfiction. Reading's really good, guys. You got taught this in, like, school. And it is really good, because it helps you write fanfiction. So yeah, you read books, you get used to the idea of, describing, explaining, the 5 senses, that kind of thing. You get used to it, and it just becomes natural from when you're writing. I do feel like reading a book makes things more engaging and more unique as well, especially if you don't start copying people, because it just adds a bit of meat to the bone of your stories. So, like, I don't mean this offensively or anything, but it's a sad truth. If you're reading a story and it's like a script, a lot of people are going to get bored. Okay, so I'm going to use Nagisa and Karma as an example from Assassination Classroom. So, you say, I'm scared, Nagisa says. We'll be okay, Karma says. But I'm scared, Karma, Nagisa says. It's okay, Nagisa. We'll find a way to kill Koro-sensei, Karma says. It's a little just a little bit interesting, but I mean, it's interesting because I've read it, guys, but it's got no meat. Okay, we need meat in this, right? We need structure. We need something to keep that viewer engaged. If you read back your own works and you go, actually, this isn't probably one I'd read, then you know yourself there needs to be more. That's exactly why reading's good, and also this comes to number 4. So number 4 is very similar to the third one. For the people who really, really, really can't stand reading, because I know there's some people out there, I know there's people who are dyslexic and everything like this. This is another alternative, but I can't say it's more successful than the other. Is just widen your variety of films, right? If you're writing a sci-fi, sci-fi thriller, then go watch some sci-fi thriller, yeah, because it'll give you that. You'll be like, yes, I can include that. That is a good freaking point. Yeah, if you're doing a thriller, then watch thriller. If you're doing a horror, watch something that's supposed to, make you scared. Yeah, I'll not spoil Maze Runner for anyone, but it gave me some ideas for an Attack on Titan fanfiction, because it's like a real life version of Attack on Titan, and I felt like the characters, they aren't similar, but I could also kind of make them similar. Like, it'd be a really good idea to do a crossover between them. So that kind of gave me more of a feel and more of an Attack on Titan, idea, even though it wasn't really Attack on Titan related. If you want to do a post-apocalyptic fanfiction, I mean, Train to Busan, which is a Korean film about zombies, actually inspired me to do one of my fanfictions. Yeah, so it inspired me to do the zombie apocalypse. And that's why a lot of people commented and were like, I'm getting Train to Busan feelings, and I'm just like going, oh god, maybe they are, right? Because it actually influenced me to write it. So yeah, films are a great way to educate yourself and, create that feeling that you want to put into words. So it makes you better at visualizing situations and everything kind of like that. So if you're writing a crying scene, watching a crying scene would help to make you feel emotional and make you be able to write how somebody is supposed to cry, because every person is different. You need to keep it as canon as possible. So if you forget how that character acts a little bit from watching films and things, then it's always good to go back and rewatch 1 episode or 2 episodes of that anime or film or series to jog your memory of what actually happens. This isn't just all anime that I'm talking about today, but I am a person who writes anime more than, other films. But if you watch a scene of the film that you think characterizes the characters very well, and it shows you who's what and what sort of character they are, then it gives you that, the power. Oh, on that note, actually, another thing about films which gave me an idea is for my Bungo Stray Dogs, it was Ektogaron and Etsushi. It's called Obnoxious. I actually got that idea from a Sherlock Holmes film, which was on TV, and it was a bit with I think what happened was this girl was tied up, and she was going forward into this saw thing, and she's about to get proper sawn in half. And I was like, geez, wow, okay. And then after watching it, I'm like, I have got an idea. And that's how Obnoxious happened. The 5th one is just a bit of advice from me, really. Because there is quite a lot of fans like this. If you are writing fanfiction, you're going to get greedy fans. I call them greedy fans. What do you call them, really? I don't know. But I'd say I get quite a few greedy fans who demand I write more. And unfortunately, I have a life. I'm sorry, guys, but it's true. And I have to go to university. I have to go to, I have to still go to college to do my university work. And, I have to eat. I have to sleep. You name it, I have to do it, okay? So I can't constantly write 24/7. Every author can't Do you know what I mean? We find time to write, and usually that's like at night, or when everything's quiet, when you can concentrate. So quite literally, a bit of advice from me is don't rush your next chapter because someone demands another chapter. Take your time. If they really do like your story, they will read it when you want to update it, okay? So, just take a deep breath. Don't worry about your fans. Even if you don't get any views, any comments, any likes, it doesn't mean people don't read it, okay? The amount of views you get is how many people have viewed on it. Just think of that for a moment, because a lot of views, people do get a lot of views, and they don't get a lot of likes and comments. The problem with that is, and I can tell you the reason why some people don't do it, is because either they don't have a Wattpad account, and they have found you just surfing the web, or they generally don't like things and don't comment on them because it's linked to their Facebook, and it can sometimes link stories to their Facebook that they have added to the story list or things like that, and obviously it can cause a lot of embarrassment for people if they are reading smut. So, general fan fiction, people get embarrassed about reading it and people knowing that they read it. So don't be upset if you don't get any likes or comments, okay? People are still loving your story and people are still viewing your story. And liking a comment is just liking a comment. Just be proud of how many views you get, because, that means someone has clicked on it and someone has read it, okay? So stay confident with that. I just want to say thanks to my greedy fans, though, because I personally like greedy fans. I like it. I crave from that. I love it when people comment and go, oh my god, what's going to happen next? Oh my god, cliffhanger, woo, right? I love it. I love it so much because it motivates me so much to go, right, next chapter's coming soon then, guys. If I don't get that interaction with my fans, I do feel sad, and that's why I'm saying a view is still a view. If you don't get a like or you don't get a comment, that's just the sad life, really, That's how things are sometimes, but you need to stay positive, because if you stay positive, you'll enjoy your fan fictions, yeah? You got to enjoy writing it. You can't just go, I'm not doing it for me. You've got to do it for you, okay? If you're doing it for the views, then you're doing it for the wrong reason, my friends, okay? Right, number 6 is, in terms of describing, there is no right and there is no wrong. There is stories out there who have been published that have very, very little describing. The book of Narnia is a great example of a book that doesn't describe. You have to use your imagination a lot, because they go, right, bloody blah crawls through a hole in the wall and enters into another room, and it's eerie. It's, I got bored of the book. I like it when they describe things, but there is some people out there who write stories with not a lot of description, and they are freaking amazing, okay? So you don't need description all the time, but description, in my opinion, it needs to be done. Especially, like, an AU, for example. This is my general thought on it all. Yeah, so an alternate universe with Armin and Mikasa, right? So we've got Armin and we've got Mikasa. If it is an alternate universe and they're in a school AU, then people don't generally know how school works. So it's like, oh yeah, school, oh yeah, cafeteria, oh yeah, classroom, that kind of thing. But I'm not picking on people here, so don't panic. You may know who you are, you may not know who you are. If you are describing somewhere where it has never been seen before, then you have to describe everything. Nobody has seen the texture of that place. If it's a planet, for example, you need to describe the texture of the planet. Is it muddy? Is it like a muddy texture? Is it a sandy texture? Is it warm? Is it humid? Is it cold? Is it life-threatening? How much oxygen is around? That kind of thing, because the viewer doesn't automatically assume those things. So it just kind of, you need to explain that. One of them could be wearing like a helmet full of oxygen. If you don't state that fact, then nobody is going to know. Another thing is, if it is in the Attack on Titan universe, then I feel like you don't have to describe the, the place as much, other than it's the Survey Corps barracks, or, you know, it's the base of the Survey Corps, or it's the castle that the scouts went to, the Levi squad, then that's all you really need to say, because people can visualize it. But if it's a place where none of them have gone, or it's out of the way of the anime or film that you've actually you know, chosen the characters from, then I feel like you have to describe. That's just my personal opinion. If you are in school, I dread even saying that, because you shouldn't be reading my fan fiction if you are in school. Oh my god, I cringe at the thought. Right, anyway. If you are in school, you are at an advantage because you still study English. Everything that you learn in English is always helpful for writing, especially when you're doing the creative writing stuff, because grammar, punctuation it's important, I guess. You know, I don't feel like it's all that important, but it just gives your story a bit of a further push into the popularity kind of, you know, situation. If it's well written, it's bound to get views, do you know what I mean? It's bound to attract people. But, like I said, mine's not very good, you know, I still don't even put capital letters in some places. So, and it's doing okay. So don't worry about it that much. I don't think it's that important, but if you are in school and you are learning about grammar, punctuation, nouns, verbs, all of that kind of shizzle, then, you know, use it to your advantage. It's a great way to practice for your exams as well. Like, honestly, I think my fanfiction helped me pass my exams in the end, so it's good, okay? Practice the stuff you learn, okay? Okay. The seventh thing that I'm going to say is literally, a lot of people pick up on these things, and a lot of people say that they're wrong, and a lot of people say, you can't do that, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of hate in every fandom. Every fangirl and fanboy already knows there's always going to be hate in a fandom, okay? But brush it aside, you know, you're better than them, you know, don't listen, don't even respond, because that's what they want you to do. You know, the one thing I can only advise is don't copy. If somebody's fanfiction is great, yeah, even if the storyline is great, just ask to see if you can have, like, you know, just take a little bit of their storyline, or, you know, the kind of same kind of thing as that. Because, I mean, it's copyright, guys. Don't steal, right? I haven't been aware of anyone copying my fanfictions. I've inspired a few people, which is absolutely amazing. It's so good to be told that I've inspired people. I'm just like, how? I'm a nobody. But anyway, you know. So don't copy. Your work is your work and it's unique. If somebody tells you it's crap, they're wrong, okay? If you find the beauty in it, then it's beautiful, okay? There will be someone out there who likes it as well. And that's why you're publishing it, okay? You are in total control of your fanfiction. Nobody is forcing you to write anything at all, okay? If you don't want to write it, don't write it, okay? You don't have to be a fangirl or boy to write fanfiction, okay? You just do it because you want to do it. Don't do it because you feel pressured, okay? You can change the age of the characters, okay? It's not illegal, okay? Like, if you've got, I don't know, Midoriya and Todoroki, right? I think they're originally 15 in the anime. But why not make them 18? There's no law on it, okay? You can write them 18. You freaking do that. If you want to do it, you do it. But it's more important to definitely change their age if you write smut, because you can get done if they are under the age of 18, because, you know, like, they are underage and things. If you want to make them 40 odd, or I don't know, 90 odd, if you want them to be an old little couple, yeah, then you do it. There's nobody stopping you, okay? Yeah, so you can change the age. I've just said that. You can change the genders. Make one of them a girl. You know, why the hell not? Make both of them a girl. Make them Yori instead of Yaoi. Who cares? Swap their genders. If you're writing an Eren and Mikasa fanfiction, then you go ahead. You make Mikasa a guy and Eren a girl. Nobody can tell you that you can't do that, okay? You do it. Because it's your fanfiction. And nobody's in control of it other than you. If somebody comments and goes, wait a minute, you know, that's not canon, my friend, then go, I don't give a crap. This is a fan fiction. This is what fan fiction is for. Go wild, guys. Don't hold back. Don't be upset by haters and other people because this is your fan fiction. This is not anyone else's. Unless the author and the actual person just goes, hold on, what the hell are you doing to my characters? Then feel ashamed, but don't if it's just a nobody. If it's somebody hating, then just go, I wasn't asking you. Please remove yourself from my story, please. Another thing, you know, if you want to do an empreg, you freaking go and do an empreg. Yeah? If you've got two guys and one of them's pregnant, then hell yeah. If you've got two girls, one of them's pregnant, and everyone's like, hold on a minute, that don't work, then go, well, it does in my fanfiction. It's my universe, not yours. Yeah? You do it, okay? A megaverse as well. People don't like a megaverses, but if you want to freaking do it, you do it. Nobody's stopping you, okay? Nobody is going to stop you. As long as you follow a megaverse and empregs are a little bit different because they usually do include smut. You can't really escape them. Then just make sure you put warnings, okay? If you're doing a female Eren and Levi, put female Eren x Levi in the title so people are aware of it and they're not shocked by the fact that they are women when they start reading. But just like I said before, it's important to make them over the age of 18 because your stories can get reported if you do not follow the guideline. That is just Wattpad's guideline. If you don't follow it, you could get reported. And it's happened to me before, and it destroyed my life. It could have been easily avoided if I actually read the guidelines and made sure I did it correctly. Right, so that's all I'm going to talk about. Like, the 7th one is all I'm going to talk about for the people who don't write smut or don't want to write smut. But the next part I am going to talk about, I will warn you, it is about smut. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, so don't panic. I'm not going to actually tell you how to write smut. That's not my job, okay? If you want to write it, then, you know, I'm not saying go experience it, but, you know, just, I ain't even going to explain that, but read some smut, you know, watch some films with smut in them. And that's really all I can advise for that, but, I mean, I would rather read it. So, that's how I went about things. I read fan fictions which had it in, and stuff like that. So that's the only way I'd go around that, but the rest of this, if you're not bothered about smut, if you're not bothered about writing sex scenes or anything like that, then please just stop watching here, okay? You can like, subscribe, you know, whatever you want, and comment ideas, but I'm going to go on and talk about smut, so you can stop watching now if you don't feel comfortable listening to it. Okay? So see you later if you're going. Bye-bye. Right, so the ones that should be left are the ones who are interested about writing smut. So, I'm going to talk to you in a nice, mature way, okay, guys? Make sure, if you know, like when you set up your fanfiction, make sure that the mature switch is on, because it will get reported if you write smut and the mature setting is not on. This is just so people who are children don't click on your fanfiction. Right, so the way I look at it is, if the fanfiction is romantic, do lovable smut, okay? So nice romantic, the romantic feel to it, that kind of thing. Do not do things which is going to make people cringe, okay? Like, there's so many times I've read people's things and I've just gone, okay, no, I thought this was romantic. I didn't realise I was watching 50 Shades of Grey. So, you know, if you do include things like what's in 50 Shades of Grey, you should put that in your tags, and you should also put it as a warning in your description, just so people are aware of what's going on. You should avoid words like penis and willy. Okay, so this takes me back to when I was younger, guys, and one of my first fanfictions, I used both of those words. They're not, you know. I'm not gonna tell you words to use otherwise, but you can always research that, you know, you just say other words which you can use instead of saying that word. So yeah, That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna advise you on what you should put or what you shouldn't put. I don't know, so yeah. You don't actually need to go into that much description. Okay, you can kind of hint it without saying this is exactly what happened. This is the facial expressions that was going on. You don't need to say all that crap, okay? All you need to really do is just hint that it happens after maybe a heated kissing scene. If you write a good kissing scene, it's obvious that's going to happen after it. And a lot of readers who have read that, they go, oh, right, okay, that's obvious. You've moved to different characters away from them, so it's obvious they're still kind of busy and there's no dialogue there. So, you can hint it. You don't have to write it, but that is still kind of classed as smut, or at least, like, heated fluff. So, but obviously if there is a sex scene, then it's classed as smut. Right, so this one I don't really want to say, but I'm going to say it. It needs to be said because people do this, and oh my god, this is why people do not get reads, okay? Like, or don't even get me started, because there's been so many memes about these kind of videos and how crap their storylines are. So this is why you shouldn't copy their dialogue. So do not copy dialogue from videos which you could stumble across on the internet. Yeah, those videos. As it's cringy, it is cringy, okay? It's cringy. And real lovemaking is not like it, okay? It isn't. It's not. I mean, why would I know? But it's not. it's not, okay? I mean, you can throw in the daddy kink if you really want to, but just make that a warning, People who are reading a nice, lovable story will not expect that to just be thrown in the lovemaking scene, okay? So make sure you make it appropriate to the fanfiction that is happening. If it's something like that, the fanfiction should be kind of followed up to kind of like storyline. So don't just, don't put the wrong scene in a wrong fanfiction. That's all I'm saying. So I don't know any ages of my fans, I hope there's no young'uns out there, because you don't need to be reading this stuff and you don't need to be writing it, okay? Don't force yourself to do it, guys, okay? It shows in fan fictions when you're forcing yourself to write this stuff. If you do not feel comfortable in writing it, nobody is telling you to, okay? Don't do it for the popularity, okay? Because you won't end up being popular just by doing that, okay? It doesn't work, okay? Okay, more people are going to click on your story, but then they're going to stop reading when they read a scene, and that makes them feel extremely uncomfortable and makes them cringe, okay? So, if you don't want to write it, do not write it, okay? Nobody is forcing you to. You can be just as good as an author as anyone else without even including it. There is some freaking amazing stories out there which don't have smut in them. Be that person, okay? You do not need it. I promise you, you do not need it. If you do not want to include it, you don't need it, okay? So don't force yourself. If you're watching this and you're considering writing it, but feel uncomfortable doing it, don't, okay? Just don't do it. Like, if you don't want to, don't. Nobody's forcing you to, okay? The last tip I will give you is that if you don't follow people, and if you don't read other people's stories, vote on them, comment on them, then how are they going to know who you are, okay? A lot of people sit back and they're like, I don't have any followers. And then, look at your reading list. Do you have any stories there? If you don't, that's your answer. You just answered your own question. You need to go out and you need to follow some accounts, yeah? Because when they get alerted by you, they may go, oh, that's a nice account, I'm going to add that story to my reading list, and they could read one of your stories. So it doesn't hurt anyone to follow a couple of hundred people on Wattpad and see if anyone reads your stuff. But you have to be nice, okay, guys? They're not going to come to you and just be like, oh yeah, this person followed me, thanks. They might want you to read some of their stuff before they read yours, okay? So please go and read other people's stuff. Please appreciate other people, Don't be selfish. That's all I can say, okay? Finally, guys, it's over. That's the end of the video. I do hope you enjoyed it. I do hope it helped. If you want me to talk about some of other things like fanfiction or anything like that, then just comment below of what you want me to talk about and I will talk about it, okay? As long as it's PG, because I don't really want to talk about any more smut than I have already, because I don't want to get reported on YouTube. But if you do want me to talk about it, then I could maybe write more about it on Wattpad and post it as a separate story. If you do want me to do that, then please comment down below, let me know, okay? Yeah, thanks for watching the video, and I really, 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 really hope it helped. And if you do go and decide to write a new fanfiction, then tag me in it, okay? Send it me through Wattpad, and I will check it out if I have the time, okay? So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, okay? And I should see you soon, okay?